Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me.
Taylor Swift's sixth studio album, Reputation, is shaping up to be her most straightforwardly pop offering to date, after spending the bulk of her early career racing up the charts with a stronghold on country pop. While the move makes sense for Taylor's artistic evolution, there's a funny thing happening across the rest of the music landscape. Many of Taylor's contemporaries are moving in the opposite direction. In 2016, Beyoncé dropped Lemonade, and on it, her very first country song, Daddy Lessons. It's a track about learning from generations and fittingly pays musical tribute to her family's roots in Texas and Louisiana by fusing sounds from country music and Zydeco. Days after the song dropped, the Dixie Chicks started covering it in their live shows, and soon after, they all joined forces to perform it at the Country Music Awards.
His head held high, he told me not to cry. Oh, my daddy said you. Oh, my daddy said you.
2016 also brought us Lady Gaga's return to pop, after spending the last 2 years touring her jazz project with Tony Bennett and exercising her acting chops on American Horror Story. Only instead of returning to the electronic dance pop of her last 3 solo projects, Joanne featured a Gaga more interested in soft rock and country pop.
I've got 100 million reasons to walk away.
Come 2017, pop acts catching the country bug has only increased, and it's often the result of artists like Kesha and Miley Cyrus, both raised in Tennessee with deep ties to country music, reconnecting with their roots.
I think spending time back home is actually what got me to start thinking about younger now, because I feel like I didn't embrace my southern roots, because there's a lot of things about those roots that I don't necessarily agree with now, and so I think I had to go back to why I loved where I grew up so much. And I grew up around George Jones, Merle Haggard, you know, Waylon Jennings, Dolly Parton, and that's what I love about Nashville. I love the music of it.
Wake up in the morning.
It's the same kind of reconciliation that connects the Kesha that wakes up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy with the emotional, contemplative Kesha of Rainbow.
Baby, trust me, I know life is scary, but just put those colors on, girl. Come and play along with me tonight.
Kesha's mom, singer-songwriter P.B. Seibert, hasn't just helped pen many of Kesha's biggest hits. She co-wrote Old Flame's Can't Hold a Candle to You, a song Dolly Parton took to the top of U.S. country charts in 1980.
An old flame can't hold a candle to you.
A new version of the song is on Rainbow, but it's only one of several tracks on the album that lean into country sounds. By doing this, Kesha not only nods to her relationship with her mom, she reclaims her past, reinforcing the themes of identity and redemption in her lyrics.
On your knees, praying.
But what about artists whose parents were never part of the Nashville music scene? What makes Lady Gaga, an Italian musical theater nerd from New York City, feel connected to the genre? Or moves Atlanta's Young Thug to try on a 10-gallon hat and finger-pick guitars for Family Don't Matter? 3-time platinum recording artist and 1-time Shania Twain duet partner Nick Jonas shed some light on how country has influenced his own approach to pop music.
Shania Twain's one of my favorite artists, and Garth Brooks, I got to go to his show recently and it blew my mind. As a performer, but also the songs, and you know, it's most times 3 chords and the truth, you know. So I think I try to apply that to my music as well and write things that are really honest and tell my stories. And that doesn't always mean that they're heavy and emotional. They can be uplifting and optimistic as well. But you know, really telling a story of your life.
There's a connotation of country music as being authentic and of pop music as being artificial. Whether you believe that or not, there's a study by computer scientist Colin Morris that supports the idea that storytelling in country music is more complex and relies less on the repetition of words to make a song catchy. Taylor Swift herself is fully cognizant of the delicate balance between pop's storytelling abilities and more infectious qualities, or which she and Jack Antonoff described to MTV in 2014 as evil pop.
The one thing that I've tried to keep intact in this whole thing is, you know, a basis on songwriting. I didn't want to make a pop album and all of a sudden place my priority on a bunch of weird sounds that will get stuck in people's heads, but they won't know why they're stuck in their head.
Evil pop, yeah, that's
pop.
a word that we throw around a lot.
Evil pop is when you're singing something in your head and it's like a oh or a
infected.
ooh, and you don't know why because it's brainless.
Which brings us back to Reputation. Its lead single, Look What You Made Me Do, relies heavily on repetition. The chorus is basically the same line 8 times in a row, and throughout the song, Look What You Made Me Do is sung a grand total of 40 times, making it one of Swift's most repetitive songs to date. Her other Reputation singles are no more repetitive than your average 2017 pop song, but are in stark contrast to Swift's earlier work. For example, 2008's Love Story has 3 distinct choruses, each one taking the listener through a different chapter of Romeo and Juliet's relationship. But, like she said herself,
The old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Oh, 'cause she's dead.
if Reputation moves Taylor Swift deeper into the center of pop while the rest of music moves toward country, will her album appear less authentic? Or will it sound fresh set against the trend of her peers migrating to country in her wake?